Can you walk us through a specific program or use case?
Sure, yeah. So, for example, one of the projects that we're utilizing SkillsVR is a simulation we are creating to train paramedics, basically. So, what we did is we went in to the medical campus and they essentially showed us it was very impressive, but they had a bunch of these dummies that were rigged up with all these different controls and things like that. And they said, to train paramedics, we'll bring them in here. We'll have to have a couple people running the dummy and we'll kind of do things that way. But they said, of course, getting the dummy set up is a process. The dummies are very expensive. They aren't able to rotate through paramedics as much as they'd like. So what we were kind of tasked with doing was seeing if we could kind of create something in virtual reality that could kind of assist with that. So it may not be a full replacement for the dummy, but it could be an additional part that'll continue the learning when they're not able to access one of these dummies. So one of the things that we noticed during these situations, of course, is that there's a lot of communication going on. But we knew from the get-go, okay, we're gonna have to have virtual humans. We then knew as well that we are going to want to integrate, have the user just be able to speak freely and kind of have that work in tandem during the simulation. Because again, we were kind of going for realism. Our first version, of course, started with just like multiple choice questions that you could click on and things like that. But we wanted to transition into kind of a more seamless experience. So that is why we chose Skills for that. Because again, a lot of the groundwork has already been laid by you all with the tool, which is great. So we could really focus on the real questions we wanted to look at. So that's one of the projects that we're using Skills with. We have definitely had positive feedback from the medical team who are looking at it, because again, they definitely see this as a big, not just a time saver, but again, something that can provide additional learning in an effective way that's not just going to be looking at notes or just watching a video, something a lot more interactive where again, you actively have to take a role in the situation. You have to be speaking, you have to be figuring out what to do next. So initial feedback so far has been really good. The feedback from the students that we're hiring to work with SkillsVR to make this happen has also been very positive as well. So again, our students that we hire to work, they may have, again, they go through an interview, of course, for technical aptitude with Unity and programming and things like that. But some of them may have only had like a semester's worth of Unity experience beforehand. So I think the SkillsVR platform and flow has been really helpful for them.